Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome back. New episode of Diego's Untitled Jiu-Jitsu project. This week, I wanted to take a little bit of time and kind of talk about the dealing and kind of expecting that first big learning slump. Because I feel like by the time you get to it, you're so used to these big chunks of information that all of a sudden it's getting less often that you're getting these like eureka moments, and you're starting to think that maybe that's as much as you're going to get, or you're going to start feeling like maybe that's as much as you're capable of learning, which isn't necessarily true. So I just want you to think about learning in jiu-jitsu. So the first probably 2 years or so, it's so brand new. Jiu-jitsu is so new that every lesson is just huge. Every idea you gain, every concept you understand is this big, enormous piece of the puzzle. And you start expecting everything to feel that way, everything to feel that big, and that's not how it works. So I try to keep in mind that your growth and your learning, it's kind of like a mine where the first pass through a gold mine, it's no one's been there before. It's the first time anyone's gone there searching for gold. So there's all these big chunks of gold laying around. So they're pretty easy to gain. They don't take a lot of effort to pull out of the earth. They're just big chunks of gold that are just laying around. And then you make a couple passes through the mine, and all of a sudden, not only are the pieces of gold getting smaller, they're few and far between. And then you're starting to get a little bit concerned, like, oh, how much gold is in this mine? And then you have to go further to get gold. And then you start having to dig to get gold. And I don't want us to feel like, A, we're the only people that have felt that, or B, that means that's the mine is running out of gold. It's just they're going to become harder to find. And that should be almost a thing you look forward to, instead of being afraid of or letting it kind of dissuade you from continuing this journey. And the cool thing is, sometimes, since they take more work to get to, you have to dig a little bit deeper, you might find things or lessons that are more valuable than gold. You might find rare earth. You might find mastery of that concept or idea, or just discipline. I think it's really important to remember. I see so many people get frustrated at like mid blue or late blue, and that's like their first real confrontation with this idea of like, oh, not everything is going to be huge. Sometimes you work for 6 months at just being able to understand a half guard pass, and you just can't get it down. It's like, yes, some of these things take a long time to get better at. That doesn't mean you're not going to, and it doesn't mean that you have a problem learning. It's just how it goes. So make sure it doesn't kind of upset you too much, or kind of take away your enthusiasm of jiu-jitsu, because everyone goes through it. And I kind of think of it like a rite of passage. Like, okay, I'm at this point, and this is where most people quit, and I'm not going to quit. I'm gonna become one of the people that get past this point. I treat it almost like a test. So yeah, don't let it dissuade you. Also, I would say invest in understanding how you learn. I think it's really important. I think the three main ways of learning, like seeing someone do it, doing it yourself, or reading about it. I think those are the three main ideas that I can think of learning. And it's like, I know some people, everyone learns better from one way or the other. I personally learn from just doing it. Just let me do it, I'll figure it out, got it. But it doesn't mean I don't invest in reading jiu-jitsu books. That doesn't mean I don't invest in watching jiu-jitsu matches. I think some lessons are only going to present themselves in one of those categories, so you might as well put the effort forth to find those lessons in that realm, because there's information everywhere. So make sure you're stepping outside your comfort zone, both in how you do things, but how you're trying to learn about these things. All right, I hope that's useful. Yeah, dealing with the learning slump. It's not easy. You're not alone. Everyone deals with it. It's a test. Pass it. See you on the mats. Bye.